Picture this. The channel you've poured your heart and soul into finally going viral. I want that for you. Let's be real, guys. Your channel deserves so much more than this. The late nights, the endless edits, the constant grind. It's exhausting when the results don't reflect the effort. And just like me, you've probably seen a bunch of courses promising to make you a YouTube automation guru. But it's all a big buzz, and you end up wasting your precious time on some sponsored video that only benefits the sponsor and the creator. A few months ago, I decided to start this AI channel despite the influx of competitors, and a little over 2 months later, the channel reached monetization. Fast forward 3 months later, and the channel has finally hit its second milestone. So to show my appreciation, I decided to put together all the knowledge I have gained on this wild journey into this masterclass, the one I wish existed when I was getting started. And just so you know, nothing in this video is sponsored. This is purely my own research, my personal experience, and my genuine goal to give you the best possible information to help you get started or level up if you're struggling with YouTube automation. If you stick around to the end of this video, you'll walk away with everything you need to build a successful faceless channel. First off, I'm going to show you how you can find a faceless niche. Then I'll walk you through some of the most trending faceless niches you can dive into right now and still strike gold. After that, we'll get into branding your channel with your very own avatar, just like you see on some of these popular channels. Then we'll dive into one of my personal favorites, the what if niche. I'll show you exactly how to create videos in this space. And right after, we'll explore the old movie trailer niche, which is blowing up on YouTube right now. Next, I'll take you step by step through creating viral historical documentaries. And then we'll get into making simple explainer videos using Canva and CapCut. Once we're done with that, I'll show you how to create some epic storytelling videos, like the ones you see on Bible in a nutshell. From there, we'll shift gears and learn how to create animal fact videos, similar to what's trending on this channel. Then, I'll take you through creating AI-driven comparison videos. Think comparing countries, objects, and more. We're also going to dive into making AI-generated anime shorts, and I'll even show you how to create those viral stick-figure animations that are all over social media. As a bonus, I'll take you through an entire course on editing with CapCut. Before we wrap up, we'll get into thumbnail creation, where I'll show you how to design some of the most popular thumbnails completely from scratch. I know this video is going to be longer than usual, so I'll be including timestamps throughout so you can easily jump to any part that interests you most. But before we dive in, I want to quickly tell you about a couple of other things I've got going on. First up, I've created a free Discord channel where you can find all the resources from my videos, plus a community of like-minded people who are either running their own YouTube automation channels or thinking about starting one. It's a great place to connect, share ideas, and get support. And second, for those of you who are looking for more hands-on help with your YouTube journey, I've got something special. I'm mentoring 10 people for 6 weeks straight. You'll get 24/7 access to DM me, even after the 6 weeks are up. On top of that, you'll get bi-weekly 1-hour group calls plus weekly one-on-one calls with me, where I'll personally guide you through your YouTube automation journey. All this for a one-time fee of $297 for the first batch only. And just a heads up, the price will go up after the first batch, so if you're interested, now's the perfect time to jump in. The links will be down in the description. Now let's get started. Chapter 1. Niche Selection. Alright, let's kick things off with how to find a trending niche on your own. It's super simple. First, open up an incognito window on Chrome and head over to YouTube. The reason we're using incognito is to avoid YouTube's algorithm from giving us personalized recommendations. This way, you'll get a cleaner view of what's truly trending. Now, the first thing you want to do is change your location settings to your preferred area. For this example, let's pick the United States. Once you've done that, head over to the trending section. Take your time to scroll through some of the most popular videos right now, and keep an eye out for niches that seem interesting to you. When you stumble upon a niche that grabs your attention, the next step is to check if smaller channels in that space are doing well. A great sign is finding a relatively new channel that's pulling in hundreds of thousands of views on their videos. That's your cue. The niche is likely worth a deeper dive. You can repeat this process as many times as needed until you land on something that genuinely excites you. Chapter 2. Trending Niches. Choosing the wrong or right niche on YouTube can make the difference between a channel with 600 videos but only 150 subscribers, and another with only 20 videos but 150,000 subscribers. That's 1,000 times the subscribers with just a fraction of the total number of videos. If you're an unknowing YouTuber, you might think this is unfair. You put in the same amount of effort and time, if not more. Yet the other guy gets more views and already bought that new car he's been teasing, while you can't even hit the first 1,000 subscriber mark to get monetized. However, the truth is far simpler than you might think. You just may be in the wrong niche. Here's the thing, the majority of YouTube channels fail, and it's not because their videos are that much worse than others. Most of the time, it's simply because these creators chose the wrong niche. So to make things easier, I've spent the past few days and nights diving deep into research to uncover 15 of the most profitable faceless niches that you can start right now and still strike gold. Because of the number of niches, I won't be creating demos of each of these videos, but I'll do my best to show you exactly what you need to create your own. So let's dive in. The first niche on our list is history. Just take a look at your recommendations and you'll notice some of these viral history shorts. Channels like Stellar Sagas and History Bypass are getting millions of views making such videos. The best part about these kinds of videos is that you can easily create them using AI. You can use ChatGPT for the script by pasting a simple prompt. Once you're done, simply head over to 11 Labs and generate the voiceover. Next, you need to create the images. Feel free to use your preferred image generator, but I recommend Leonardo AI or Ideogram if you're on a budget, and GPT Plus or Midjourney if you've got a few bucks to spare. Once everything is ready, you can put them all together using CapCut. Oh, and if you need consistent images for this style of video or want a detailed breakdown, feel free to check out this video I made about how you can create some pretty badass history shorts. The second is health and wellness. It's a niche that will always be relevant on YouTube. The best part about it is the various monetization sources for this niche like affiliate marketing, selling health courses, and sponsorship from health brands. To truly stand out, you can even consider some of these sub-niches. Channels like this one are killing it in creating faceless videos in this niche. You simply need to grab some stock footage from any of your favorite sites, add a voiceover from 11 Labs, or any other text-to-speech platform, and then top it off with decent editing. Take a look at some of the videos in the niche, and you'll be surprised by how simple the videos are. Next on the list, we have AI. AI is gaining momentum lately, and channels like these keep blowing up and gaining massive following within their first year. The best part about this is that the niche is still trending now, despite the recent competition. But newer channels can still find their place by creating a sub-niche for themselves, or simply choose one of the existing sub-niches, like focusing on teaching how to make AI videos for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, or simply testing out new AI tools or just AI news. The possibilities are endless in this niche, and I've outlined the whole process for creating a faceless channel like mine in this video. Most of these channels have an avatar, so you can create one using any of the popular AI image generators, and create the lip movement using tools like HeyGen or DID. For the voiceover, you can choose a character from 11 Labs' voice library. And that's pretty much all you need for the branding, like in my case. Next on the list is the movie explainer niche. These are some of the most popular videos not only on YouTube, but also on Instagram and TikTok. Successful channels in this niche are making thousands of dollars each month. Oh, and if you're worried about whether such content can be monetized, check this out. You just need to follow YouTube's policies to avoid violations. To create such videos, you first need to look for movies with high IMDb ratings. Then you can ask ChatGPT to create a script for a specific scene in the movie. Make sure you don't provide any spoilers for the entire movie, as that could land your channel in trouble. Now, you need to create a voiceover with your favorite text-to-speech tool, and don't forget to download the movie or just the scene. To avoid any copyright issues, make sure you only use 5-second clips max when editing. Next on our list is storytelling with AI. People love storytelling videos, and channels like this have proven what viewers think about using AI-generated videos for storytelling. The best part is that these videos are enjoyable to watch for both adults and kids. Their scripts are mostly based on folktales, biblical stories, or any interesting stories you can think about. To create these videos, you first need to generate your script using ChatGPT. Then, generate the images with your favorite AI image generator. To create the animation, you can use tools like Runway ML or Luma Dream Machine. You also need a voiceover, so you can paste your script inside 11 Labs and hit the Generate button. Finally, you can put everything together using CapCut. Feel free to check out this detailed video I made on creating videos for this niche. Next is using this popular video style for comedy. Stickfigure animations are some of the most outstanding videos on any social media platform. They're short and funny, making them very difficult to skip. Quite frankly, the numbers on these videos can be difficult to believe. Unfortunately, creating this style of video requires a bit of expertise. You need to put in a bit of hard work. But it's honestly worth all that effort when you look at these jaw-dropping numbers. To make it easier, I've created a playlist where I teach everything you need to know to create your very own stick figure animations, including how you can create your very own characters. The best part is that you can do this with completely free tools. Simply grab your phone or laptop, and you're good to go with this niche. Next on our list is the what if niche. What if aliens exist? Or what if the dinosaurs never went extinct? These hypothetical questions have crossed our minds, and it's always intriguing when you see videos about them. This is what makes this style of video a huge magnet. And this channel is dominating the niche. You don't need to be an expert in any field to create these kinds of videos. ChatGPT can do most of the hard work for you. From idea generation to script writing, ChatGPT is your best asset in this niche. It can even create the images for your story if you're on any of the paid plans. To make things easier, you can check out this detailed tutorial I made on creating this style of video. Next, we have pet and animal videos. We've seen videos like these all over social media. And what's interesting is that channels like this one are simply printing money posting these animal videos. Videos like this will continue to be funny and cute, so this niche is one you definitely don't want to miss. You don't even need to resign yourself to using other people's animal videos alone. You can create funny or cute videos of your own pet, and people are gonna love it. No need to show your face or anything like that. Next on our list is quizzes and riddles. This style of video is quite simple, and channels like these are killing it with these unbelievable numbers. What's more interesting is that this works for both short and long-form content. Keep in mind that the quizzes need to be intriguing, and the presentation should also be engaging. To create these videos, you simply need to ask ChatGPT to give you a list of compound words, separate them, and also include emojis. Finally, put them into a table and instruct GPT to include the voiceover. You can now use Canva to create the rest of the video. I won't be going into details for this video, but feel free to let me know in the comment section if you want me to make a dedicated video on creating this style of video. Next on our list is Animal Facts niche. Channels like this one are simply creating videos about real and extinct animals. And just look at some of the views they're getting. And what's more interesting is that these videos are quite easy to make. No need to worry about consistent characters or even animating your images. Keep in mind that animating your images for these videos would definitely help you stand out. But that isn't very necessary, so you can simply ask ChatGPT to give you some intriguing topics about any or a specific animal. Once you have it, all you need to do is generate a short story about that particular animal. You can finally ask for a few prompts that you can use to generate your images. Feel free to use your favorite image generator at this stage. But once you're done, you can generate the voiceover with 11 Labs and edit the final video in CapCut. And just in case you want to animate the images, you can use any of these popular AI video generators. I already have a full tutorial on creating videos for this niche, so feel free to check it out. Next on our list is one I like to call imaginative photography. And this may be the easiest style of video to create on this list. It doesn't even require a voiceover. This channel is doing great in this niche, and all they're doing is taking countries, states, or even car brands and reimagining them as Disney characters, Transformers, and more. They use ChatGPT to generate the descriptions for the characters and then proceed to create the images using Midjourney or any free AI tool. This video covers the whole process of creating these kinds of videos, so feel free to check it out for a more detailed tutorial. Next, we have animal stories. I'm sure we've all seen these viral animal videos all over social media. The best part is that this doesn't only apply to cats. Channels like these are blowing up from creating these viral videos. The videos are short, punchy, and visually appealing. Couple this with some perfectly catchy soundtracks and you have a viral video. You can ask ChatGPT for a storyline, but I suggest using your imagination to come up with a wild and intriguing story. Once you have it, you can generate prompts for creating your scenes and characters. I won't be going into detail in this video, but feel free to check out this dedicated one I made on creating this style of video. What's even more interesting is that you can create these videos using completely free AI tools. Now let's move on to the next niche, which is stoicism. This niche simply involves creating motivational and inspirational videos based on ancient Greek and Roman philosophies. Channels like these are pulling in these crazy numbers creating such videos. The best part about this niche is that the videos are very easy to create. You only need a script, AI-generated images of muscular ancient Greek statues, and finally a deep male voiceover. I haven't made a video about this niche, but there are plenty of tutorials all over YouTube. Next, we have the scary stories niche. Channels like these are killing it in this niche, and the most difficult part of the whole process is coming up with scary stories, which can be solved with AI. That said, I don't recommend using AI to generate these stories, but it can give you some good ideas that you can modify. Once you have your idea, all that's left is to create the voiceover using text-to-speech tools like 11 Labs, and also generate images for the video. You may not even need consistent images for most stories, so feel free to use any free image generator. Then you can move on to CapCut for the editing. I don't have a dedicated video for this niche, so feel free to add a comment if you want me to create one. You can also try a simple search, as I believe a few creators have made videos on this topic. Finally, we have anime motivation. This niche is quite popular and very lucrative if done right. Some people simply use clips from existing anime to create their stories and sometimes end up getting penalized. But why use someone else's copyrighted content when you can create your own? It's the age of AI, people, and you can create some very cool anime shorts with the right tools. Fortunately, I've already created a detailed video on this niche, so you can check it out. But to sum it up, you simply need to create the images and animate them with your favorite AI tools. Then, finally put everything together using CapCut. You'll be surprised to see some of your results looking considerably better than some of the anime you can find on the market. Keep in mind that the right niche isn't the only deciding factor when it comes to success on YouTube. Consistency, valuable content, good editing, and more play key roles. But if you don't know anything about editing, I got something for you. Simply check out this video on editing with CapCut. Thank you and see you in the next one. Chapter 3. Channel Branding. The first thing you need to do is come up with the look of the character. You need something unique and memorable, so feel free to use your imagination. Once we've decided on the character, background, and other details, we can go to ChatGPT and ask it to create a prompt for generating our image. ChatGPT is great at generating such images, so I recommend using it if you have a GPT Plus subscription. For free users, you can paste the prompt into Ideogram or Leonardo AI to generate the image. However, it can be quite frustrating to create an avatar with those tools, so another tool that you can use is Copilot, or Bing Image Creator. It's free and runs on dalle, so you get similar results to GPT Plus subscribers. The only issue is that free users only get images with square aspect ratio. So to fix this, we'll download our image and head over to Adobe Firefly. Next, we can select Generative Expand and upload our image. Now let's choose Widescreen option from the Expand tab in the sidebar. One thing you should know is that Firefly typically adds a watermark at the bottom. So let's make room at the bottom before we begin the process. All of these options look great, so let's select one and download. The last step here is to remove the Firefly logo at the bottom. So let's drop our new image inside Adobe Image Resizer, select YouTube from the drop-down, and then choose our aspect ratio. Now we can drag our image until the logo is no longer visible. Once everything looks good, we can go ahead and hit download. Our image is ready, but we need to animate it. For free users, I recommend HeyGen, but for paid users, DID produces some of the best results in the industry. We'll be testing both tools, but first let's generate our dummy script with ChatGPT. You can use any dummy script, but I'm only doing this to avoid this weird scenario where the avatar's lips are closed when our voice narration is still ongoing. So we'll give this command to ChatGPT and grab this script without any punctuation. Now let's test this out with HeyGen. We'll choose Avatar and upload our photo avatar. Next, we'll select it and choose our video format. In this case, we're creating a landscape style. Our script is a bit too long, so let's shorten it a bit and choose a random voice character. Finally, we can hit submit and wait for our video to be ready. Check out the result.
Imagine a world where the sky is always a brilliant shade of blue with clouds that stretch across the horizon like cotton candy, and the sun shines down with a warmth that wraps around you like a cozy blanket.
This looks great, but we'll need to get rid of this annoying watermark. But first, let's download our video. Free users can only download 720p resolution, which isn't that great, but we'll fix that later. If you encounter this issue where the download button doesn't seem to be working, simply choose Customize, then hit the play button, and finally download. For paid users, I recommend using DID. Let's head over there and create our video. Next, we need to upload our image and make sure it's selected. We'll leave the emotions and movements at natural and paste our script. I'm using a free account, so I need to reduce the number of words to 10, choose a voice, and then proceed with the video generation. Our video is ready within a few seconds. Both of these tools are pretty cool, so you can choose one depending on your budget and how well they can animate your specific avatar. We need to remove the watermark from the video we generated with HeyGen, so we'll head over to 123 apps and choose this icon. Next, we'll upload our downloaded video and draw a rectangle to cover the entire watermark. As you can see, the tool isn't perfect, but it's done a pretty awesome job removing the watermark. Now we can go ahead and download our video. We also need to increase the resolution of our video, so let's drop it into VMake and wait for it to do its magic. Our high-resolution video is ready within a few minutes. Chapter 4. How to create what-if style videos. Check out this video.
Imagine waking up one morning ready to tackle your to-do list only to find out there's nothing to do. Zip, nada. Not because you've become a productivity guru, but because AI has swooped in and taken over your job. And not just yours, everyone's. Welcome to a world where artificial intelligence runs the show. Let's paint the picture. AI isn't just some annoying coworker who never takes a sick day. No, AI has become the ultimate employee, never needing lunch breaks, sleep, or those suspiciously long bathroom breaks. From flipping burgers to performing heart surgery, AI does it all, and it does it perfectly, without the water cooler gossip. Now, you're probably wondering what happens when everyone's out of work.
Guess what? This entire video was crafted using AI tools. Yep, even the ideas, the visuals, the narration, all AI-powered. And here's the kicker. There's very little competition in this what-if style of videos. The biggest channel in this niche has over 8 million subscribers, with their top video racking up 25 million views. Now, if you take a peek at Social Blade, you'll see this channel is not just thriving, it's practically printing money. So if you're ready to dive into content creation and stand out, you're in the right place. Stick with me until the end, and I'll hand you the keys to create some killer what-if videos. Ready to dive in? Let's do this. First things first, the script. Now, we could do the lazy thing and swipe a transcript from one of these videos using this nifty Google Chrome extension, then let ChatGPT work its paraphrasing magic. But where's the fun in that? Instead, let's get creative and whip up something totally unique using AI. This niche is all about pushing boundaries, so don't be afraid to think outside the box. Head over to ChatGPT and ask it for some killer video topics. Take a look at these. Pretty cool, right? You can keep generating more until you find one that speaks to you. Once you've got your topic, ask ChatGPT to craft a 10,000-character script. But don't just settle for any script. Make sure it's packed with humor, storytelling, and creative flair. We want to keep our audience glued to the screen, so let's make every word count. This script looks solid, so let's move on to generating some top-notch visuals. We're going to need about 30 detailed prompts for our story's images. You can use tools like Ideogram or Leonardo AI if you're on a budget. But if you've got a few bucks to spare, the premium image generators are where the magic really happens. I'll walk you through generating images in both Leonardo AI and GPT+. Let's kick things off with Leonardo AI. Copy one of your prompts and head over to their image generation tool. You'll want to choose a preset and aspect ratio that fits your vision, then paste the prompt. Don't be afraid to tweak it for a close-up shot or any other specifics you have in mind. Click that Generate button and voila, you've got your image. Not quite what you wanted? No worries. Rinse and repeat until you're satisfied. If you're using GPT+, the process is just as simple. Paste your prompt, include your aspect ratio, and make sure to specify that you want a close-up shot. Check out the results. If it's good, fantastic. If not, tweak and try again until it's just right. With your images in hand, it's time to animate them. We'll be using Runway ML, a tool that's been blowing my mind with its new Gen 3 Alpha. But if you're looking for alternatives, Luma Dream Machine is another solid choice. For now, though, let's stick with Runway ML's free version. Select Image to Video, choose this model, and upload your image. We want our scenes to be snappy, so 5 seconds should do the trick. And watch as the AI works its magic. Pro tip, if you're using the free version, try generating videos around 2 p.m. Eastern Time, unless you want to face this problem. Check out this awesome result. Rinse and repeat for your other images, but we'll speed things up and skip ahead. Next up, the voiceover. We're using 11 Labs for this, but feel free to explore other options. Copy your script, paste it into the text field, and a quick tip, keep it under 700 characters at a time to avoid any weird voiceover glitches. Now, choose your voice. You could go with a popular choice, but if you want something truly unique, dig into the voice library. I've even curated a collection of awesome voices to make your life easier. Pick your character, hit generate, and voila, you've got yourself a killer voiceover. Now let's move on to finding the background music. If you've got a few bucks to spare, there are some amazing premium collections out there. But if you're on a budget, YouTube's audio library has got your back. Next, we'll put everything together using CapCut. Start by importing your files and adding the voiceover to the timeline. Remove any silences to keep the video engaging, and then arrange the clips according to the story's flow. This might take some time, so I'll speed up this part. Don't forget to shorten clips where necessary. Once the clips are in place, it's time to add transitions. Stick to simple transitions to avoid overwhelming movement in the video. Add a few transitions and then find sound effects for both transitions and clips, like a moving electric car. If you can't find the right sound effect, head over to Pixabay to grab one. Adjust the sound effect by shortening it and increasing the fade on both ends. For the bathroom scene, add a flushing sound effect and lower its volume slightly. Then add a sound effect to the helicopter scene and adjust its duration. The video is shaping up well, so let's apply a filter. You can use your favorite filter, but for this demo, we'll go with the clear filter. Extend it to the end of the video. We won't add animations since the clips are already well animated, but you can add them if you include images. Let's generate captions next and choose a template of your preference. I prefer adding an animation, changing the font, and adding a shadow to the text. Adjust the blurriness if needed, but this setup looks pretty good. Our video currently has the runway watermark, which we'll remove later. There's also a minor issue with the caption that I'll quickly fix. Finally, add background music and lower its volume. Export the video at 1080p resolution. To remove the watermark, go to 123 apps and select the appropriate option. Import the video and draw a rectangle around the watermark. The tool may not be perfect, but it should do a decent job of hiding the logo. Export the modified video. Keep in mind that free users can only export the video at 720p resolution. To get a high-resolution version, simply import the video into vMake and wait for it to do its magic. Within a few minutes, your high-resolution video will be ready. If you enjoy creating videos with AI, be sure to check out this other video for more tips and tricks. Chapter 5. How to create viral old movie trailers.
In a distant realm where dwarves and elves walk the land, and danger lurks at every turn, a small hobbit embarks on the adventure of a lifetime. Meet Frodo Baggins, an unlikely hero with a heart of gold, and a ring that's anything but. When his Uncle Bilbo hands down a shiny trinket, Frodo quickly discovers it's no ordinary piece of jewelry. It's the One Ring, crafted by the Dark Lord Sauron, a malevolent force with a plan to cloak the world in darkness. And it's up to Frodo to destroy it. But Frodo isn't facing this peril alone. Enter the Fellowship, a band of brave companions. There's Aragorn, a mysterious ranger with a hidden royal lineage. Legolas, the elf with flawless aim and even better hair. Gimli, the fierce dwarf proving that size isn't everything. Boromir, a noble warrior whose ambition may be his undoing. And of course, Frodo's trusty Shire friends, Samwise, Merry, and Pippin, always on the lookout for their next meal. And let's not forget Gandalf, the wise old wizard with plenty of magic up his sleeve. Together, they'll cross dangerous lands filled with orcs, goblins, and the occasional cave troll. Their mission, to destroy the One Ring in the fires of Mount Doom, buried deep in enemy territory.
I'm sure you've seen these intriguing trailers making waves all over social media. Channels like these are taking brand new movies or classic TV shows and giving them a 1950s Super Panavision movie style with the help of AI. And what's really fascinating is that people can't seem to get enough of them. If you're not convinced, just check out this channel that's posted literally one video, and it's already on track for monetization. Then there's this other one blowing up with these jaw-dropping numbers, even on their newest videos. Now here's the best part. You can do this yourself, and it doesn't have to cost a dime. Yep, you don't need to empty your wallet to make these kinds of videos. In fact, I'll show you how to pull this off using both free and paid tools. We'll go step by step, starting with how to create a script for the trailer. Then we'll dive into 2 easy methods to generate some great image prompts for your story. Once we've got our prompts ready, there are 2 different ways we can create the videos. The first option is to generate images, either with free or paid tools, and animate them. The second option, just generate the video directly using simple prompts. After that, we'll move on to the voiceover and of course find the perfect background music to give your trailer that cinematic edge. I'll even show you how to edit the voiceover to give it that classic megaphone-style sound, and we'll finish by compiling everything in CapCut. So let's jump right in. The first thing we're going to do is create the script for our video. For this demo, we'll make a short trailer for Lord of the Rings.
Precious.
To do this, we'll head over to ChatGPT and ask for a voiceover narration in that iconic 1950s style. If you want to feature specific characters in the narration, you can include those details too. And just like that, our script is ready in seconds. Now it's time to create the prompts that'll help us generate our images. There are 2 ways you can go about this. The first method is super simple. Just ask GPT to give you 20 prompts and don't forget to specify the image style. I'll be leaving the full prompt down in the video description for you. This method works like a charm, but sometimes you want the images to be closer to the original scenes from the story. In that case, here's what you do. Go through your story and identify the specific scenes you need visuals for. Once you've done that, head over to Google, find the scene or character you're after, and download the image. Now, the fun part. Upload the image to ChatGPT and ask it to create a prompt based on that scene or character. In just a few seconds, you'll have a simple prompt that'll recreate something similar but in the style you're aiming for. We'll test this method first with Midjourney before moving on to other free tools. So go ahead and copy that final prompt. While Midjourney is my go-to for high-quality images in this style, you're free to use dalle or any other premium image generator that you like. Since I've already set up a private server on Midjourney, we'll head there. Start with /imagine and paste the prompt we just copied. Let's clean up the prompt a little by moving the image style to the beginning, and this looks good. So let's generate that image. Take a look at these results. Not bad, but we need our character to face the camera for that dramatic effect. So, back to ChatGPT, we go to make some tweaks to the prompt. Now that we have our updated version, we'll copy it, go back to Midjourney, and start another image generation. Paste the new prompt, adjust the same details as before, and hit enter. Check out these results. It's looking so much better, and the image style is spot on for what we're going for. Let's give it another shot, but this time with Gandalf. We'll quickly grab an image of him from Google, upload it to ChatGPT for a new prompt, and follow the same steps. Back to Midjourney, type the command, paste the prompt, tweak it, and let's see what we get. These images look good, but I think we can push them a little further. So, let's regenerate and see what we get. Now these are looking way better, and we can definitely use any of these for our story. We'll go with the bottom left image, so let's select U3 to enlarge that one. To save time, we won't go through all the images for every scene, but just know that the process is pretty similar for each one. Next, let's explore how to create these images using some free tools. We'll try out both Leonardo AI and Ideogram. First up, Leonardo AI. The first thing you'll want to do is choose your preferred preset. Then, we'll select the right aspect ratio and paste our prompt. Of course, you can make any adjustments to the prompt before hitting generate. Now, check out the results. Not bad at all, but you can always tweak the settings until you're happy with what you get. Now, let's move on to Ideogram and see what it gives us. The results here are also really solid. Again, feel free to play around with the prompt if you're looking for something specific or just want to fine-tune the results. With our images ready, it's time to bring them to life by animating them. You can use any image-to-video generator you like, but I recommend Luma Dream Machine or Runway ML. Personally, I prefer Runway ML because free users get some credits to generate videos, which is super convenient. So, let's dive into Runway ML. First, hit this button to start. Make sure your preferred model is selected, upload your image, and add the same prompt you used for generating the image. Let's go with 5 seconds for the video duration and start generating. Now, if you're using the free version, you might hit an error here and there, but with a couple more tries, it should get going. If you're planning to get into this niche seriously, I'd recommend investing in a paid video generator for ease and reliability. That said, there are still free options, and I'll show you one right after this step. It's currently free, but it'll likely move to a paid model soon. The clips we've made so far look great, so let's try it out with our second image. We'll upload the image, add the prompt, and wait for the final results. This one turned out well too. I'll skip over the rest of the scenes for now and move on to generating videos straight from text next. The tool we'll be using is called Minimax. It's a text-to-video generator that's been making waves lately. If you want to dive deeper into how it works, check out this video. Their website isn't in English, but no worries. Just use your browser's translate feature to navigate. Once you're there, simply hit this button to start and paste your prompt. You can tweak the prompt however you like, and when you're ready, hit create to start generating your video. From what I've seen, the video generation usually takes about 5 minutes or so. Alright, our video is ready. Check out the result, it looks super cool. The character's subtle movements, the smooth panning camera, everything looks spot on. I'll skip ahead and generate one for our second character now. This one is just as impressive, if not more so. The environment, the way the character moves, the outfit, it's all looking sharp. And the best part? I didn't even need to regenerate any scenes. Now that our clips are done, the next step is creating the voiceover. For this, we'll be using 11 Labs, but feel free to use any text-to-speech tool you prefer. The first thing we need to do is head back to ChatGPT and copy our narration. One tip, if you want the voiceover to sound smooth, paste the text in batches of under 700 characters. Personally, I like to keep it under 500 characters, but 700 works fine too. Once you've got your text ready, you can browse through the voices on 11 Labs or search their huge library of voice options. I've made a video listing my favorite English voices from their library, so feel free to check that out if you're curious. Now let's generate the voiceover. Before we move on to editing, we need some epic background music for the trailer. There are 3 easy ways to find copyright-free tracks. The first and simplest is to grab one from YouTube's audio library. The second way to get your background music is by using either a paid music library like Epidemic Sound or free platforms like Chosic or Pixabay. These platforms offer tons of copyright-free soundtracks that you can use without any legal worries. The third option is using AI music generators to create your own soundtrack. Just make sure to select instrumental, then include a description like epic orchestral music, and maybe even mention the movie title to guide the AI. Most of these tools have free tiers for users, but they often don't cover commercial use. So once your channel starts making money, I recommend paying for the tool to avoid any potential legal issues down the line. Now, before we jump into CapCut to pull everything together, we need to edit our voiceover. If you've watched similar videos, you'll notice the narration usually sounds like it's coming from an old radio or megaphone. I'll show you 2 ways to achieve that effect. First up is with Premiere Pro. Start by importing the voiceover files into a new project and dropping them into your timeline. Then, go to Effects, search for Parametric Equalizer, and drop it onto your first track. Next, head to Effect Controls. Click Edit for the effect, and choose the preset that gives you that old radio sound. After that, go back to Effects, search for Single Band Compressor, and apply it to the same track. Click Edit on that effect, select the appropriate preset, and then adjust the output gain to 16. Now, to save time, you can copy these effects and paste them onto any other voiceover tracks you have. Just make sure the parametric equalizer is applied before the single band compressor for each track. Once all your voiceovers are set, go to File and Export Media. Since we only want the audio, turn off the video track and select MP3. Hit Export and voila, your modified voiceover is good to go. If you don't have Premiere Pro, no worries. You can do this with Audacity, which is completely free to download. Simply drag the voiceover into the app and make sure it's selected. Then head to Effect, choose Filter Curve EQ from here and select the radio preset from the options. You can tweak the graph if needed, but once you're happy, export the file in MP3 format and you're all set. The final step is editing the video. First, import all your files into CapCut and drop the voiceover onto the timeline. AI-generated voices can sometimes have long pauses, so let's go ahead and cut those out, aligning the tracks so that the narration flows smoothly. Once that's done, you can start arranging the clips according to how the story unfolds. Crop the clips as needed and enlarge others for emphasis. To save time, I'll quickly breeze through this part. Now for some finishing touches, you might want to add one of these filters to see what works best for your video. We'll use this one, dragging it across the entire video to give it that vintage feel. One thing I like to add for extra flair is a grainy texture. So let's drop in a grain effect and change the blend mode to color dodge or screen for that cool retro vibe. This looks great, so let's go ahead and duplicate it a few times to cover the video. Here's an optional step, but I've noticed that a lot of these retro-style videos include a top and bottom border effect. It's super easy to do. Just grab a black background image, position it at the top of the video, then duplicate it and do the same for the bottom. I'll leave every one of these files and prompts in the resource channel of my Discord server. Link will be in the description and on my channel page. If you want to animate the border so that it appears gradually, here's how. Select the clip, add a horizontal mask, then set a keyframe. Move forward a second or two, and drag the mask to create the effect. Let's play it back. Yep, that looks awesome. You can repeat this process for the top border as well. The last step before you export the file is to add the background music, decrease the volume, and trim it. Finally, the video can be exported at 1080p resolution. If you end up with a watermark on your video, you can easily remove it. Just head over to 123 apps and select their watermark removal tool. Upload your video, and then simply draw a rectangle around the watermark. The tool isn't perfect, but it does a pretty decent job in most cases. Once you're happy with the results, all that's left is to export your video, and you're good to go. And there you have it. If you're into this niche, you'll definitely want to check out some other amazing niches that are trending on YouTube right now. Watch this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Chapter 6. How to create historical documentaries. Okay, so this historical documentary channel only has a handful of videos, but somehow has over 11 million views, with more than 100,000 subscribers. And a quick look at Social Blade shows they're already making over $3,000 each month, which is insane. So in this video, I'm going to take you on a step-by-step journey to create your own captivating historical documentary videos and help you level them up like this.
In the dawn of humanity, our ancestors roamed the African savannas. These early hominins, such as Australopithecus, were among the first to walk upright. They lived in small groups, relying on their environment for food and shelter. With the development of simple tools, these early humans began to shape their world. The ability to create and use tools marked a significant leap in our evolution, paving the way for future advancements. Around 1.8 million years ago, a new species, Homo erectus, emerged and embarked on a remarkable journey. They migrated out of Africa, spreading across Europe and Asia. This period of exploration and adaptation laid the foundation for the spread of human civilization.
One of the best things about the historical documentary niche is that it's considered evergreen. People will always be fascinated by history, which means your content can continue to attract viewers for years to come. And guess what? You can do it all without ever showing your face. We'll kick things off by generating our script using ChatGPT, then create compelling voiceovers. Next, we'll generate stunning images, bring them to life with animations, and select the perfect background music. Finally, we'll piece everything together in CapCut and enhance the resolution of our videos. So let's get started. For this demonstration, we will be creating a video about the history of human civilization. To get started, we'll give ChatGPT the command to generate a 2,000-word documentary on our topic. As you can see, ChatGPT has created our narration for each scene. Now, we need the full narration for our voiceover, so let's go ahead and grab that. Finally, let's ask ChatGPT to create 3 or more prompts for each scene to make our image generation easier. With our script in hand, it's time to generate the voiceover for our narration. We'll start by copying our narration from ChatGPT and heading over to 11 Labs. While 11 Labs isn't entirely free, their generous free monthly plan offers plenty to get you started. You can choose from a variety of available voiceovers or explore the thousands of voices in their extensive voice library. To make things even simpler, I recommend checking out my detailed video where I sift through over 2,000 English voice characters to highlight my top picks. This will save you time and help you find the perfect voice for your documentary. For this demonstration, we'll be using Adam, a popular voice on social media. Keep in mind that longer scripts can sometimes sound weird, so I recommend pasting shorter sections at a time. Around 500 characters per generation works well for me, though some suggest up to 700 characters. With our voiceover ready, it's time to move on to the visuals. In this demonstration, I'll show you both free and paid methods for creating images. In the case of free users, I recommend Leonardo AI or Microsoft Copilot to generate your images. For those using Leonardo AI, start by selecting the Leonardo Lightning preset and choosing your preferred aspect ratio. In our case, 16:9 for our long-form video. Next, copy the prompts we generated from ChatGPT and paste them individually into Leonardo AI. The initial results are promising, but feel free to tweak the prompts and explore other presets, like the anime style, if that suits your documentary's aesthetic. For Copilot users, head over to the designer and paste your prompt. The images generated here look fantastic, so let's create a few more. However, note that Copilot provides square aspect ratio images for free users. Since we need landscape-style images for our long-form video, we'll use Adobe Firefly's Generative Expand feature. Upload your image to Firefly, select Expand, and then choose Widescreen. Keep in mind that Firefly typically adds their watermark at the bottom left side, so let's use the handles to extend that side of our image. Now let's hit Generate and check out the final results. All 3 options look fantastic, so we'll pick one and download it. The last step is to remove Firefly's watermark. We'll head over to Adobe Image Resizer and import our image. Now let's select YouTube and choose the appropriate aspect ratio. We can drag our image until the Firefly logo is no longer visible. Once everything looks perfect, our landscape-style image is ready for download. For paid users, we'll be using dalle. However, feel free to use your preferred image generator. Let's paste our prompt and include the aspect ratio. The image looks great, but let's grab a close-up view. We'll repeat this process until all of our images have successfully been generated. The next step is to animate our images. For that, we will be using Luma Dream Machine. Keep in mind that Luma Dream Machine isn't completely free, but they do offer 30 free generations monthly. Unfortunately, it can be quite slow for free users, so I recommend paying for the tool if possible. Alternatively, you can create multiple accounts and run additional generations like I did. Now let's upload our image and include the prompt we used to generate it. We can also add our preferred action and then wait for our video to be ready. Our short video looks great, so we'll repeat this process for the rest of our images. Before we move on to editing, we need to find the perfect soundtrack for our documentary. We can ask ChatGPT to help us identify the best types of music that will enhance our documentary's atmosphere. As you can see, ChatGPT has provided us with a detailed list of genres to consider for each scene. Let's start with the first recommendation, Epic Orchestral, and see how it complements our visuals. For free users, I recommend grabbing a few tracks from the YouTube audio library, or visiting Breaking Copyright to select the genre you need. Choose a track that is free to use on YouTube, and always remember to credit the artist to avoid any issues. For paid users looking to elevate their documentary, I recommend using Suno to create custom soundtracks. The service is reasonably priced, and you can simply select Instrumental and paste your copied text. These music generators are excellent for creating soundtracks, making them perfect for videos like ours. Now it's time to edit our video. Let's use CapCut and import our clips, voiceovers, and soundtrack. First, we'll add our voiceover to the timeline and arrange the clips to match the flow of our story. Depending on the narration, we may need to shorten some clips and speed others up as necessary to maintain a smooth and engaging narrative. Next, we need to add some transitions. Let's choose simple transitions to avoid adding too much motion to the video. Alternatively, we can pick one consistent transition and apply it to all our clips. We'll also select a filter and drag it to cover the entire timeline for a cohesive look. Finally, let's find some effects that perfectly complement individual clips and apply them to enhance the visual appeal. Next, we'll grab our background music, drop it into the timeline, and decrease the overall volume to ensure it doesn't overpower the narration. I realized I neglected to add sound effects, so let's find some suitable ones and add them to the timeline as well. Before we export our video, let's generate our captions. We'll select an animation style and change the font to Comica Axis. Our text isn't very clear, so let's add a shadow for better readability and position the captions properly. Our video is looking great, so let's go ahead and export it in 720p resolution. The final step is to increase the resolution of our video. To do this, we'll head over to vMake Video Enhancer and upload our video. Now, we just need to wait for vMake to finish its magic, and our high-resolution video is ready. Anyway, I hope you found this demonstration helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to smash that like button. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Chapter 7. Storytelling with AI. Okay, so I created this short video using AI.
A long time ago in Egypt, there was a baby named Moses. He was born at a time when things were hard for his people.
All baby boys from the Israelites must be taken away.
Where's the baby? Bring him out right now. I want him now.
I won't let that happen to my baby. I have a brave plan. I'll place Moses among the reeds along the Nile River and see what happens.
What a cute baby. I will take him home.
This entire video was created with AI tools, and the best part is that videos like this are great for storytelling. Take a look at this channel that uses AI to create Bible stories, raking in hundreds of thousands of views per video. But it doesn't stop there. This approach works wonders for any kind of story imaginable. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can tell engaging stories like these using AI tools. But before we get into that, thank you for 1,000 plus subscribers. Your support has been incredible. Now let's continue with the video. First things first, let's create a script for our video. For this demonstration, I'm going to use this video as a template. So let's quickly extract the transcript using the YouTube summary with ChatGPT and Claude Google Chrome extension. As you can see, the extension has given me a full transcript of the video, so I'll go ahead and copy it. To generate our script, I'll ask ChatGPT to create a story of Moses using the transcript. Next, we'll break down our story into different character lines to make narrating easier. We'll also include prompts to generate close-up images for each scene. With our prompts ready, it's time to bring our characters to life. Consistency is key, so let's begin by creating detailed descriptions of our characters. Let's kick things off with the pharaoh. Now I'll have ChatGPT generate a description for an ancient pharaoh and create a prompt based on that description. Remember, free users can't generate images with ChatGPT, so I'll demonstrate this separately. For Plus users, we'll search for the Consistent Character GPT and click this button. Now we will follow the prompt, add a name for our character, and also paste the description we copied. As you can see, we've generated an initial image of our pharaoh, so we can go ahead and include some actions and background details. Our new pharaoh appears more muscular than the first attempt, so let's try again. This new image looks similar to the previous one, so let's try one more. Looks like the original image was the only slightly odd one, but the others maintain their consistency. To save time, I will skip the other characters and scenes. For free users, I'm going to show you a simple trick to get consistent characters from dalle. Let's start by creating a consistent character for Moses' mother. First, we need to craft a detailed description of her. We'll follow a similar process as we did for the pharaoh earlier. Since GPT-4o is available for free, let's proceed with selecting the same reliable character, GPT, we used earlier. The first thing we're going to do here is to paste this command. I will include it in the video description. It's a simple instruction that also prevents the GPT from attempting to create an image which isn't possible on the free plan. We can follow a similar process as before and paste our character description. As you can see, the GPT has generated a prompt for us to use. Now let's open Microsoft Copilot and paste our new prompt into the designer. Our initial character has been generated. Next, let's refine her with an action using prompts from GPT. As you can see, our updated character closely resembles the original. We'll continue this process to ensure consistency across all scenes featuring our character. As you can see, Copilot has generated images in a square aspect ratio. To fit our needs, we'll switch over to Adobe Firefly. Using the generative fill feature, we'll upload our image and then expand it to widescreen dimensions. Firefly adds a logo at the bottom, so we'll leave room for that before we generate our image. Our image looks good, so let's download one and import it into Adobe Image Resizer. Let's select YouTube Dimensions and drag our image, making sure that the Firefly logo is no longer visible. Now we can go ahead and download our image. The next step is to generate our voiceovers. We'll start by copying the character lines we prepared earlier and paste them into 11 Labs. Our first narration is that of our narrator, so let's choose a voice from the library. To find the right voice for your narration, check out my full video where I go over the 2,000 plus voices in the library to select my favorites. Let's select a character and generate our voiceover. All that is left is to repeat this process for our other characters. Now that our voiceovers are set, we can go ahead and animate our images. Depending on how you want your video to look, I can recommend two main tools. The first one is Luma Dream Machine, and the second is Immersity AI. This AI tool can enhance your images with depth, creating a 3D video effect like this example. While it doesn't animate characters directly and free users may have watermarks on their videos, it can still produce impressive results, like this zoom effect. The primary tool we're going to be focusing on is Luma Dream Machine. It's a freemium application that gives users 30 free generations each month. But this AI produces some of the best results I've seen on the market. Take a look at this video it generated. It's almost lifelike despite a few minor glitches in the hand. And this was only my second attempt. Just imagine the potential with a bit more refinement. Let's go ahead and upload this image of a guard barging into someone's home. Quick tip. For better results, you should always include a version of the prompt that you use to generate the image, in addition to the actions that you want the character to be performing. The generation can also be very slow sometimes as the tool is in high demand at the moment. However, I've found that traffic tends to be lower around midnight Eastern Time, making it an ideal window for quicker processing. But if you have the budget, I can absolutely say it's worth every penny. Our video doesn't look bad, so we can proceed to the next step. But before that, if any of the videos look like this clip of our narrator, we can drop it into CapCut and trim the unwanted section. Then, we'll duplicate the clip and apply a reverse effect to seamlessly extend its duration without disrupting the flow. The next step is to create the lip sync for our videos. For paid tools, I recommend a lip sync tool called SyncLabs. Let's create a project and upload our audio and video files. We can select our preferred model and then generate our lip-synced video.
A long time ago in Egypt, there was a baby named Moses.
Our character's lips are moving quite well, but it's a pain to get rid of the huge watermark. So let's use another tool for our lip sync. The tool we'll be using is Pika. So let's head over to their website and upload our video. We will select the lip sync option and upload our audio file to start generating the lip-synced video.
There was a baby named Moses.
Although there's a Pika logo at the bottom, we can address that with blurring in post-production. It's time to start our final editing in CapCut. Let's drag our video clips and audio into our timeline and arrange them according to the flow of our story. We will also add some transitions and sound effects to make the overall video engaging. Next, we can generate the caption and add some animations and effects, or simply save time with one of these cool templates. The Pika watermark is still showing on this clip, so let's duplicate it, add a blur effect to the top layer, and finally add a mask to it. This doesn't get rid of the watermark, but it can blur the region. For background music, let's grab one from YouTube's audio library to avoid any copyright issues. We'll add it to our timeline and decrease the volume. The video looks good, so we can go ahead and export it in 720p. The last step is to increase the resolution of our video. For that, we'll go to TensorPix and add our exported video. Next, let's select 400% Ultra and enhance our video. Our 4K resolution video is now ready for download. You can achieve even better results than this if you spend a little more time refining your stories and visuals. And as you can see, this doesn't only apply to paid users. That said, free users will need a lot of patience with Luma Dream Machine, as generations can sometimes take far longer than you can imagine. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking. Your thoughts matter too, so feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Chapter 8. Animal Facts Shorts. Check out this channel that launched less than a year ago and already boasts around 130,000 subscribers. They're crushing it with short-form content, and some of their videos are racking up millions of views. To create videos like these, the first step is scripting. There are 2 ways to go about it. First up, let's head over to ChatGPT and ask it to generate 5 intriguing topics about any animal. For this example, let's go with the megalodon. Once we have our topics, we can dive into creating a short story around one of them. The second approach involves using the YouTube summary with ChatGPT and Claude Google Chrome extension. Pick one of the animal facts videos, then modify the URL by replacing shorts with video. Use the extension to extract the transcript from the video and then paraphrase it with ChatGPT. Depending on the story, we can ask ChatGPT to create prompts for generating the necessary images. Now that the story is ready, it's time to create our images. First, let's copy our initial prompt and head to our preferred image generator. For free users, I recommend using Leonardo AI. We can choose the Leonardo Lightning preset and adjust the image dimensions to a 9:16 aspect ratio. Then, we will paste our prompts to generate the images. These look great, so we can continue generating the rest of the images to match the progression of our story. If you want these prompts, you can find them in the resource section of my Discord channel. The link is in the video description and my channel page. If you have the budget, I highly recommend using Midjourney for these images. As you can see, the results are simply stunning. To create images like this one, start by typing /imagine and then paste the prompt. Add _AR space 9:16 to set the aspect ratio. Once the images are generated, we can choose our preferred one by clicking the corresponding button. U1 for the top left image, U2 for the top right, U3 for the bottom left, and U4 for the bottom right. Feel free to upscale these images if you'd like, but the current resolution is already great for shorts, so let's go ahead and download them. Most of these videos rely on static images, but we can make ours stand out by animating them. For this, we'll use Luma Dream Machine. I recommend subscribing to one of their tiers as the free version can be quite slow. Trust me, I know the frustration. I typically spend at least 6 hours waiting for a task to complete. But if you're willing to wait, the results can be pretty amazing. Alternatively, you can check out Morph Studio or Pixverse, which may still be free depending on when you're watching this tutorial. Let's go back to Dream Machine and upload our images. We'll also include a description of our image as well as our preferred action, if necessary. The final videos look pretty impressive. Next, let's create the voiceover for our narration. We'll copy our script and paste it into 11 Labs. For the voice character, let's use Adam, which is a very popular voice on social media, and proceed with our generation. For background music, we can easily pick a track from YouTube's audio library. However, if you want a truly epic soundtrack, I recommend checking out Epidemic Sound. The final step is to compile the video. So let's import our clips and drop the voiceover inside the timeline. We'll take out any pauses and silences and arrange the video clips according to the flow of the story. AI-generated videos can be slow, so let's speed up some of these clips and also add animations to places where we're using images. Now we need to grab some transitions and drop them between our clips. Feel free to use your preferred transitions or select one and apply it to your entire video. We'll also add some cool effects and also apply a filter to our videos. Next, let's generate our captions, choose one of these templates, and apply the Kamika Axis font. The last step before exporting our video is to add our background music. Lower the volume and trim any unnecessary sections. Now we can go ahead and export our video. And there you have it, the final result.
The megalodon, a colossal shark, vanished around 2.6 million years ago. However, in 2022, an intriguing discovery was made off the coast of Australia. Scientists, aiming to study marine life, used nets and unexpectedly hauled in hundreds of shark teeth, including those from great whites and mako sharks. Among these were teeth that seemed to belong to a shark possibly related to the megalodon, raising questions about what could have devoured all these sharks. Rewind to the 1960s near the Great Barrier Reef, where men aboard an 86-foot boat anchored to fix their engine. To their astonishment, they spotted a massive shark swimming alongside their vessel. Certain it wasn't a whale, they believed the shark matched the size of their entire boat.
Chapter 9. Comparison Shorts. Just take a look at this channel that has blown up from creating this unique style of content. The best part? It doesn't even require a voiceover. They simply take countries and months and reimagine them visually as superhero characters, transformers, kaiju, and more. This approach isn't limited to short-form content either. Some of their long-form videos already have hundreds of thousands of views. To test this out, we're going to try recreating a video of countries as transformers. Let's head over to ChatGPT and ask it to generate a prompt for creating one of these countries as a transformer. I spent hours testing images with DALL-E, Leonardo AI, and Midjourney. Ultimately, I settled on Midjourney because their images fit better with this style of video. So let's head over to Midjourney and paste our prompt. First, type /imagine, and then paste our prompt. Next, include our desired aspect ratio and hit enter. Look at the amazing results we're getting here. Check out the ones I've generated for Nigeria, Norway, and Egypt. To create the prompts for these other countries, I simply returned to our prompts page and typed the name of the next country. And as you can see, ChatGPT has created unique prompts that can be used to generate our images. To level this up, we can upload our images into Luma Dream Machine and create exciting videos like these. Now, let's put everything together in CapCut. We'll start by arranging our clips on the timeline. Next, let's add a text field and include the name of the country. For the images, we'll quickly go to Emojipedia and search for the country's flag. Now we can copy and paste it into our text field. We'll repeat this process for the other countries and add our preferred transitions between the clips. Let's also apply one of these cool filters to enhance the overall look of our video. To reduce the duration of our video, we can create a compound clip and speed it up slightly. The final step is to add our background music, and here's our final result. Chapter 10. AI-generated anime shorts. Alright, so lately I've been noticing a big trend where creators use anime clips with an AI voiceover to share motivational life lessons, and these videos are getting millions of views. And guess what? They're making serious money too. Imagine earning between $7,700 and $122,000 in just 1 month from these captivating shorts. But wait, there's a twist. These successful channels aren't just grabbing random anime clips. Using copyrighted material can get your account banned faster than you can say Kamehameha. Instead, they're crafting unique, original characters and bringing them to life with AI. And that's where AI Trends steps in. In this video, I'm going to reveal the secrets to creating your own stunning anime shorts using cutting-edge AI tools. And as a bonus, I'll even show you a simple trick to increase video scenes from the typical 4 seconds to make them longer. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is create our script. For that, I'm going to paste this prompt inside ChatGPT. Generate an engaging video script on the topic of motivational quotes or life lessons. Keep it simple and easily understandable. Aim for a duration of around 1 minute. I will be using a man stuck at sea who finds an island and is eventually rescued to represent the visuals. As you can see, ChatGPT has created a motivational story with scenes and narration. Let's extract only the narration so we can use it for our voiceover, and also ask ChatGPT to create prompts that we can use to generate our images. Now that our prompts are done, we can move on to creating our voiceover. For that, we will be using 11 Labs. So let's copy our narration from ChatGPT and paste it inside 11 Labs text to speech. We can choose a voice from the available list or search for one from the voice library. If you want to find out the best voice characters in 11 Labs voice library, I will be leaving a link to a video in the description where I go through the 2,000 plus English voice characters to select the best from each category. Now back to our voiceover. For this demonstration, we will be selecting Adam, which is a very popular voice on social media. Finally, let's hit Generate Speech to get our voiceover. Now that we have our voiceover, the next step is to create our videos. For that, there are various ways we can go about it. We can either choose to create a video using a popular video generator like Pika, or create and animate images. I personally prefer the second option simply because it gives a lot more control over the look of the character and the scene. If you have a paid subscription to any of the premium image generation tools, feel free to use them for this part. But for this video, we will be using Leonardo AI for our images and more. So let's pick the Leonardo Anime fine-tuned model and paste our generated prompts from ChatGPT. Feel free to tweak the prompts if necessary to get your desired results. These images look great, so let's try and animate this one. For the first try, I'm going to take down the motion to 4 and then generate the video. Keep in mind that you only get 150 tokens for the free account while these videos cost 25. So creating the animation here may not be ideal for free users. But that shouldn't be a problem as I will be using a free video creator as well. Now let's take a look at our video. This doesn't look bad, but our character isn't moving at all. Let's try again, but this time I will increase the motion to the maximum. We have a lot of motion here, but our character is still not moving. I'm sure a few tries and modifications to the image prompt could help, but I prefer to use a different tool to animate our images. But before that, we need to finish creating the images for our other scenes. To save time, I won't be going through that. So let's move on to our video generation tool. The tool I'll be using is Hyper AI. It's completely free and produces some of the best results on the market. As you can see, we can use it to create videos from text prompts or simply animate our images. But for this demonstration, we will only be focusing on animating the images we created with Leonardo AI. So let's choose that and upload our image. Now we will increase the duration to 4 seconds and hit Create to generate our video. Keep in mind that this can take a few minutes, and we may need to regenerate our video a few times to get the desired results. The result for this one looks great on our first try. As you can see, the video gives a sense of the boat moving, and our character is moving along while also moving his body. This is quite impressive, so we will repeat this process with our other images. If any of your generations look weird like this one, simply hit Regenerate to generate a new video. Now that our videos are ready, let's put everything together in CapCut. We'll import our videos and voiceover and drop them into the timeline, making sure our videos are arranged according to the flow of our story. As you can see, our voiceover is slightly longer than our video, so we need to adjust them appropriately. In this case, I want to increase the duration of our last video to make up for the few seconds of extra voiceover. This is where the trick I hinted at earlier comes in handy. Instead of simply duplicating our scene, we are going to reverse the clip and create an illusion of continuation. As you can see, our video looks like an 8-second scene without any breaks. Now let's add some transitions to our clips by selecting transitions and then dropping our preferred transition between our clips. We will also select the transition and hit Apply to All to apply this transition to the rest of our clips. Next, we need to add captions to our video. So for that, we will select Text, Auto Captions, and finally hit Generate. Let's add some animations and effects to our captions to make them easy to read. Finally, we will choose one of these filters and extend it to the end of our timeline. Our short video is ready, but before we export it, let's add a background music. For that, we can simply go to Pixabay and download a royalty-free track. Alternatively, we can download one from YouTube's audio library, but that's only if we're posting our video on YouTube. Now that we have our background music, let's add it to our timeline and also decrease the volume. Our video is now ready to be exported. The final step is to increase the resolution of our video. This may not be necessary in the case of shorts, but you may want to do this for long-form content. So let's drop our video into vMake and wait for it to do its magic. Once it's done, we simply need to hit download and our video is ready. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the like button. Now let's take a look at our anime.
Life can feel like an endless sea, where we drift aimlessly, hoping for a glimmer of hope. Hope is like that distant island, barely visible but always there, waiting for us to find it. When the going gets tough, remember the words of Winston Churchill. If you're going through hell, keep going. Finding solid ground in the midst of chaos reminds us that every challenge is temporary. As Confucius said, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Every small step counts. Sometimes it's about making the most of what we have and sending out signals of hope and resilience. Remember, the best way to predict your future is to create it. Your efforts will eventually be rewarded. Keep believing, keep striving, and never lose hope. Your island of success is just over the horizon. Stay inspired. Stay strong.
Chapter 11, Stickfigure Animations. Alright guys, let's take a look at how you can create a simple stickfigure animation like this one. Ever wanted to create those viral stickfigure animations but have zero drawing skills? Well, buckle up because I'm about to show you how to do it. No art degree required. And if you're anything like me, you've probably watched a ton of these videos, eagerly thinking, this is it. I'm about to become the Picasso of stick figures. Then, bam. They all end up using Adobe Express, and let's be real, the results are, less than impressive. Not to mention those videos get fewer views than a potato peeling tutorial. But fear not. I've spent several coffee-fueled nights cracking the code for us non-artists. And guess what? It's not rocket science. In fact, my first attempt wasn't half bad, and I can confidently say it was made without shedding a single tear. And here's the kicker. You don't have to dip into your savings to make these animations. You don't even need to know how to draw. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to create viral stick animations. So stick around, pun totally intended, and don't forget to smash those like and subscribe buttons if you find this helpful. Just a heads up though, this isn't some magical one-click process. It's going to take a little effort, so let's dive in. First things first, you need an idea. Now sure, you could ask ChatGPT for a script, but trust me, the goldmine of humor in these animations comes from your own brain. Watch a few viral animations to get the juices flowing. Some of these creators are literally making videos about a stick figure tripping over its own foot, and people can't get enough. Once your genius idea strikes, it's time to script it out. Don't overthink it. Keep it fun, short, and punchy. After that, head over to a text-to-speech tool for the voiceover. I personally recommend 11 Labs. Their voices are very realistic and they give you 10,000 free characters monthly. Just slap that script in there, pick a voice you like, maybe one that sounds a little dramatic for comedic effect, and boom, voiceover done. Now comes the fun part, creating the animation itself. Don't panic if your drawing skills peaked in kindergarten. I'm in the same boat, so I'll be showing you a few tricks. We're going to use an app called Krita. It's open source and you can run it on your phone, tablet, or PC. Next, we need to set the scene. For this demo, I'll create something super simple. A living room with a couch and maybe a fridge. Here's the thing, I don't know how to draw a couch, but here's the hack. Instead of sketching from scratch, we're going to find a basic line drawing online. Head over to your favorite free vector website and search for sofa line drawing. The key is finding images that are simple enough for our stick figure vibe. Some images are paid, so don't forget to filter by free ones. Pick something you like and download it. Alright, you've got your vector file, but we need a PNG format, so let's head over to Photopea. It's like a free version of Photoshop. Go ahead, import your vector file. Notice how it doesn't have a background layer? That's perfect. No need to mess with anything here, just export it as a PNG and boom, we've got our sofa ready to go. Next up, let's grab our fridge. Same process. Search, download, and as you'll see, this one has a colored background. We're not about that life, so we're importing this into Photopea as well. Now here's the fun part. Turn off that pesky background layer. And while you're at it, feel free to play around with the colors. Want to make the shadow a funky color? Or remove it completely? Go wild. Once everything's looking good, export your fridge as a PNG, and you're ready to move on. Now time to fire up Krita. We're creating a new document with a resolution of 1920 by 1080, a nice standard size for animations. First things first, let's set up the room. Don't worry, it's way easier than it sounds. Grab the rectangle tool and set the size to something reasonable. Draw out your rectangle, then switch tools to draw two simple lines for the walls. Finally, we'll use the polygon tool to add a door on one side. See? Easy peasy. But wait, we're not done yet. Time to add some color. Select the paint bucket tool, choose your favorite shade, and click to fill in the areas. Once that's looking good, we can bring in our sofa and fridge. Drag and drop the sofa in, resize it to fit the room, and feel free to change up the color if you're feeling creative. Do the same for the fridge. Before you know it, the scene's already starting to look pretty good. Now comes the fun part, creating our character. Look, I'll be honest, my stick figure drawing skills leave a lot to be desired, so we're taking a shortcut. Head over to Vecteezy, where you'll find tons of stick figure options. For this demo, we're going to use a slightly modified version of one of Ricoanimations' characters. Don't worry, I'll drop all the assets, including these images, in the resource channel of my Discord server. The link's in the description and also on my channel page. Want to give your stick figure a bit of flair? You can totally add some clothes. Just grab a simple outfit from our trusty image sources, drop it onto the character, and adjust it to fit. We'll use the brush tool to blend the legs into the pants. It's already looking good. Want to go the extra mile? You can add a bow tie, maybe throw in some funky colors and make it your own. For this demo though, we're going to keep things simple, no clothes. I'll add a splash of color to the stick figure and remove the arms and legs. Don't worry, we'll add them back later when we're ready to animate. But for now, removing them will save us a lot of erasing and redrawing when we're repositioning the character. Now, it's time for the big moment, animating. Switch over to the animation window in Krita. Once you're there, right-click and add a new frame. Alright, quick disclaimer, I'm no animation expert. In fact, this is my very first attempt at creating these kinds of animations. so don't be afraid to play around with the features in the app. Experimentation is key. If I can do this, trust me, you can too. Now, when it comes to creating a new frame for your character, it's as simple as duplicating the previous one and shifting things around a bit. Watch as I switch between these frames. You'll see the subtle differences that bring our little stick figure to life. Pro tip: turn on the onion skin feature. Sounds fancy, but all it does is show you the previous and upcoming frames, making it way easier to draw the next part. But since I'm no Van Gogh, I'll be using some clever tricks to get the job done. I want the character to look like he's entering from behind the wall. His full body won't be showing yet, so I'll move the character's frame forward. To save myself some time and headaches, I've already made images of the feet and legs. I'll grab the foot first, drag it into the scene, and position it so it looks like the character is just entering. For the first frame, I'll duplicate it, erase part of it, and voila! It now looks like our character is stepping into the room from outside. In the next frame, we'll move that foot forward just a bit, bring in the leg image, and adjust the position. But here's a trick. Since we don't want the leg visible in the first frame, we'll simply erase it. As you can see, the leg's a little long here, so we'll duplicate the frame and clean it up. Then we'll do the same with the arm, bringing it in so it pops into view. Easy, right? Now for the head. We want it to gradually appear as if our character is peeking in. I'll go to the character layer, drag the frame back to where we want the head reveal to start, and slowly duplicate and reposition it to make it look like the head is creeping in. Using the onion skin will help you position things more smoothly. Once that's done, we'll start moving the hands as well. We don't stop there. Let's shift the eyes a little too. I'll erase the old eyes and draw new ones with the brush tool. Just make sure you've got the right size and color, then click where you want the eyes to go. As you can see, you don't need to be a master artist to create something cool. We're just repositioning and erasing things here and there. As we move forward, we'll continue adjusting the character's body, arms, and legs. And to make it look like our character is bending their knee, simple, just shorten the leg, reposition it, and use the brush tool to connect the dots. Easy as that. Alright, time to speed things up a bit as we finish up the movement. Now, let's tackle the next challenge, how to make our stick figure speak. I tried creating some lip movement myself, and honestly, the result wasn't half bad. But we need something a bit more presentable, so I went ahead and created a few different versions of the character with various lip movement styles. Let's import the first one. We only need the mouth here, so let's clean up the rest. Once that's done, we'll reposition the mouth and align it with the character. Since we only want this particular lip movement to last a few frames, we'll adjust the duration here. Now we'll repeat the process with the other lip movement styles I created. And check it out. The result actually looks pretty decent. For a first attempt at animating lip movement, this could almost pass as a good animation. So if you're sitting there thinking you can't do this, trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. Now if you want to add a voiceover to your animation, it's super easy. Just hit this button, upload your file, and boom. Instant voiceover.
Alright guys, let's take a look at how you can create a simple stick figure animation.
However, there's one tiny issue with this tool. There's not a lot of flexibility when it comes to editing or repositioning the voiceover within the animation itself. My recommendation? Use this tool to do the animation, and then jump over to something like CapCut to add and fine-tune your voiceover. If you need to change the length of your animation, you can tweak the frames per second and the duration right here. Once you're happy with everything, it's time to render the animation. Just go over here and hit Render Animation, choose Export as Video, and select your preferred file format. Hit this button and voila, your animation is ready. Now, if you're curious about how I built this faceless channel, make sure to check out this video where I go over everything you need to create a monetizable faceless channel. Chapter 12, Video Editing with CapCut. Alright, so if you've been following me from the beginning, you already know I'm no professional video editor. Seriously, just take a peek at my earliest videos. They speak volumes. Those first attempts were, well, let's just say they had room for improvement. But fast forward a few months, and I can confidently say my editing game has leveled up significantly. So, in this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how I edit videos like the one you're watching right now. And here's the best part. We'll be using CapCut, which is absolutely free on both mobile and desktop. So, let's jump right in. First, we'll take a quick tour of CapCut's interface. I'll start by dropping a video of my avatar into the timeline. One cool thing about CapCut is that it automatically sets the aspect ratio based on your first clip, which is super convenient. But don't worry, you can always manually adjust the aspect ratio to fit your desired screen size. For YouTube videos, we'll stick with the 16:9 aspect ratio, while for Shorts and TikTok-style videos, the 9:16 ratio is perfect. Now we can easily resize the footage accordingly. There's also a handy icon to enlarge the player, which comes in really useful. Alternatively, we can pinch the trackpad to zoom in or out. On the right sidebar, we can scale any selected video or image to any preferred size. And here's a pro tip: to use keyframes to create a smooth zoom effect. Just click the diamond icon at the point where you want the image to start increasing in size, then move forward to where you want it to be the largest. Now you can easily increase or decrease the size of your video, and CapCut will automatically add the keyframes for you. Watch as our video starts to scale up at the first keyframe and maxes out at the second. To make this transition even smoother, right-click the clip and select Show Keyframe Animation. Then select each keyframe and change the joint into a curve. Let's do the same for the other keyframe and see how it looks. Now check out that zoom effect. Much smoother, right? Just remember, if you move the keyframes after adding the curves, you might need to tweak them a bit to keep everything looking seamless. No worries though. Just go back and use the handles to adjust the curves. As you can see, our zoom animation is working perfectly now. Once we're done, we can hide the keyframe animation. And we can also remove the zoom effect simply by selecting the keyframe and hitting the delete key. Easy peasy. Now let's dive into CapCut's Remove Background feature. This tool is pretty powerful, sometimes a little too powerful. As you can see from this example, it completely removed everything including the laptop, leaving only the person. In case you're working with a green screen or a colored background, I recommend using the chroma key instead. The auto removal tool might not give you the best results in those cases. Let's use the color picker tool to select the color we want to remove and adjust the intensity. See how easy that was? Now we can overlay this on top of another video seamlessly, whereas before, the green screen was blocking the background. If a video is too slow, we can quickly change the speed from the right sidebar, or simply place the cursor at the top corner of the clip where the small shape appears and use it to speed up or slow down the video. Simple and efficient. As you can see, the speed indicator at the right sidebar also moves as we drag the clip. Now, let's dive into the audio. This clip already has an audio track, so we can select it and head over to the audio settings. Here, we can increase or decrease the volume to our liking. Watch as the audio bars move up or down with each adjustment. Plus, we have the option to extract the audio from the clip and modify it separately. This gives us even more control over our sound. One thing to keep in mind is that the golden tips at the top of the audio waves indicate that the sound is a bit too loud at those points. I'll delete this and show you a cool trick. If needed, we can always recover the audio we extracted from the clip like this. Now, let's move on to animations. CapCut offers a variety of options. In animations, out animations, and combo animations that include both. There's a whole bunch of animations to choose from, and the best part is that we can adjust the duration to fit our needs perfectly. Take this half-second slide-up animation, for example. We can extend it to 4 seconds or even longer, just like this. The same goes for out animations. As you can see, CapCut displays both the in animations and the selected out animations duration. We can tweak the out animation and watch as the arrow on the clip changes to reflect the new duration. This visual cue is super helpful in pinpointing exactly where these animations should occur, making our editing process smoother and more precise. Now let's check out the combo animations. These animations are incredibly flexible, allowing us to apply them at the beginning, middle, end, or even throughout the entire video. The line at the bottom of the clip shows exactly where the animation is taking place. Always make sure to play back and see how it looks because some animations might not work well in the middle of a clip. And the best part? All of this is completely free in CapCut, so feel free to experiment and get creative with your edits. The last tool on the right sidebar is the adjustment panel. Unfortunately, I typically refrain from using those since I prefer the use of filters. Now let's dive into some of the free stock materials available in CapCut. We can grab any of these and use them as a background. Great for when we need a cool backdrop to showcase a list or highlight something special. CapCut also offers a library of royalty-free music that we can use as background tracks. Plus, there's an impressive collection of sound effects. Just search for the effect we want and select from the available options. Adding text is a breeze too, as we can choose our preferred color and font, or pick from a range of presets and effects. We can even animate the text to make it more dynamic. And we can't forget the stickers. CapCut provides a wide variety of stickers perfect for illustrations and adding a bit of fun to videos. There are so many to choose from, so make sure to click the star button next to your favorites for easy access. Now, let's check out one of my favorite features, effects. The free version of CapCut includes some pretty cool effects that we can simply drag and drop onto our timeline. Experimenting with these can really elevate the video's look and feel. As you can see, the effect applies to everything beneath it. But if you want to apply the effect only to a specific clip, like my avatar, you can drop the effect directly onto that clip. Notice how the effect doesn't impact the clips below or above my avatar. Plus, there are plenty of settings for each effect that you can customize to your liking. In case we click off a clip and need to edit the effect later, we just need to right-click that clip and select Effect. The settings will reappear, and we can tweak them as needed. Keep in mind that you can add multiple effects to your clip or project, but be cautious. Too many effects can make your video hard to watch. Now let's explore transitions. There are plenty to choose from, so let's go ahead and drop one between our clips like this. We can also adjust the duration, making transitions longer or shorter based on preference. Next, let's generate captions for our video. When I first started using CapCut, I manually created captions for my first few videos, which was time-consuming. But now, we can simply generate our captions and then customize them. Add a preset, stroke, or background effect to our captions and even change the color. To make the text stand out, we can add a shadow and adjust these settings for better visibility. We can also choose an effect from the list and add our preferred animation style to the caption. Or simply select one of these cool templates and use the handles to resize our captions. Next, let's explore the available filters. This is all about personal preference and the look we want for our video, so we can drop a filter onto our timeline and extend it to fit the length of our video. As you can see from here, clicking a filter provides a preview of how it looks on our clip before applying it. The last thing here is adjustment, but I prefer simply using the filters. Now that we've covered the basics of CapCut, let's edit a real video. For this demonstration, we'll be using one of my earlier videos in addition to a quick recording of the ChatGPT 4.0 announcement page I just made. Since I already have the audio files from that video, I'll import them along with my avatar and the screen recording into CapCut. First, we'll add the avatar to the timeline. As you can see, the project has automatically taken the avatar's 16:9 aspect ratio, so there's no need to change that. Then, we'll trim the video since the character lowers its head quite a bit at the beginning. Next, we need to delete the existing voiceover for the avatar. Now, let's add some effects to our character. The spark effect is one of my favorites, so I'll add it to the clip. Usually, I just use that and darken the background a bit with a filter. But for this demonstration, we'll add another effect, the scanning effect, which I've used a few times in my videos. We'll also play around with the settings to decrease the intensity. Next, let's apply a filter to our clip. We can select the clip and adjust the filter's intensity or delete it entirely. The same goes for the effects. Now, let's preview our video. It's looking pretty good. We can make any necessary adjustments to get the desired result. The next step is to add our voiceover. We'll increase the volume since the voice for this character is quite low and play it a few times to ensure the volume is just right without being too loud. Now let's listen to the audio to identify the best place to add some stock videos. But before we look for our stock videos, we'll crop the avatar clip at this point and add our main footage, which is the screen recording. Scale it to fit the frame and trim any unnecessary parts at the beginning. Now we can add a transition between these two clips and play the video. If we want the avatar's face to show at a specific point in the narration, we simply need to copy the clip and paste it there. As you can see, it's now covering up the screen recording, so we need to trim it. There are two ways we can do this. The first option is to select the clip and hit the trim icon. Then, use the handles to select the desired shape and hit confirm once we're satisfied with the result. We can further decrease the size and drag it to the desired spot. As you can see, this doesn't look bad, and all the effects are still present. Now, let's try the second option. The second approach is to add a rectangular mask to the clip and use the handles to select the preferred section. One thing to note is that dragging the selected section moves the mask, not the footage itself. To move the footage, click away from the mask or simply select Basic. Now we can drag the clip without affecting the mask. If we want to adjust the mask again, we simply need to select Mask and move it around as needed. The biggest advantage of using a mask is that we can round the corners like this, which looks pretty cool. Now that the resizing is complete, we can go ahead and add some animations. While we can use a combo animation, I typically prefer using in and out animations. This looks great, so let's move forward with the rest of our editing. But before that, I realized that we neglected to add an animation to our avatar at the beginning. So, let's select one of these combo effects. This zoom effect looks pretty cool, so let's go with that. Now, let's play back our voiceover and see what needs to be done next.
free for users. This model...
I think we can add a stock video for this section where it says free for users. But before that, let's split the clip here to make room for our stock footage. For stock videos, we can head over to Pixabay or Pexels and search for any keyword. In this case, we want something related to free. Make use of either of these two platforms as they have a wide range of free stock footage for content creators. This one looks alright, so let's go ahead and download it. Just a quick tip, some of these videos are in portrait aspect ratio and might not be ideal for landscape videos. Since our video has a landscape aspect ratio, we'll select this one and proceed with the download. Let's not forget to like the video before we return to CapCut. Now we can drag the stock video and drop it between the two clips. Let's resize it to fit the canvas and add a transition. If the stock video is a bit slow, we can increase the speed here and trim it to the desired length. Let's also add a transition between the clips to ensure smooth continuity. We want to highlight something here, so we'll freeze the frame and resize it to the duration we want it frozen. Next, we'll grab a sticker, drop it above the frame, and adjust the duration. This looks good, so let's move on. Instead of highlighting, we might want to use the zoom effect in some cases. We can achieve this with animations or keyframes. Let's try animations first. Select the frame or video, go to Animations, choose Zoom In under Out Animation, and adjust the duration as needed. As you can see, this gets the job done nicely. Unfortunately, we have limited control over the size of the zoom when using animations, which is where keyframes come in handy. We can add a keyframe exactly where we want the zoom effect to begin, move to the point where we want the zoom effect to end, and then scale our video to the desired size. If you don't like the current position, you can easily move the keyframes to different points on the clip. Let's also smooth out the animation a bit using these curves. Now our zoom effect looks smooth. Let's listen to our progress so far and continue with our editing.
New GPT-4o is able to create astounding images.
We can add a stock video here to represent outstanding images. Let's head over to Pexels or Pixabay and search for an image or video collage. Since I've already downloaded one, I'll simply import it into CapCut and place it here. We'll scale the video to fit our canvas and add a transition. If necessary, we can also copy our avatar, paste it, and resize it to our desired duration. This doesn't look too bad. We can repeat this process where necessary throughout the rest of the video. Another important element we need to add is our background music. I recommend grabbing a track from YouTube's audio library to avoid any copyright issues. I'll be adding a list of my favorite tracks from this library to the channel resource category of my Discord server. You can find the link in the description of this video and also on my channel page. Before we add our background music, let's generate our captions. Depending on your personal preference, you can select one of these templates or add animations to your captions. If you want a single word effect like the one I'm using, you can select this bounce out animation. We can also enhance our captions with various effects and change the font. As you can see, the caption isn't too visible on some of these backgrounds, so we can add a shadow effect to improve visibility. For sections where the subtitle could disrupt the view, we can simply delete those captions. Now let's add our background music and adjust the volume. We want the volume to be a bit louder at the beginning, then decrease considerably when we dive into the main topic. To achieve this, we'll add a keyframe at the point where we want the volume to start lowering, move forward a bit, and reduce it to our preferred level. At the end of our demonstration, we'll add another keyframe, move forward, and then increase the volume slightly. Now let's check out our full video.
ChatGPT has released their newest and most advanced model, which they call GPT-4o, and it's free for users. This model gives free users access to some great features, which were only available to Plus and Team subscribers. Just like GPT-4, the new GPT-4o is able to create astounding images, which got me excited about the possibility of this feature becoming available to free users.
This looks pretty cool, but you can achieve even better results with a bit more time spent on editing. I hope this short demonstration was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Chapter 13. How to create viral thumbnails. Okay, so I've recreated these popular thumbnail styles in some of my previous YouTube videos, and today I'm going to show you how to create every single one of them using Photoshop. But if you don't have access to Photoshop, feel free to use Photopea to achieve the same results. It's a free web-based Photoshop alternative with similar features. As a bonus, I'll also be leaving these templates and files in the resource channel of my Discord server. The link will be in the description and on my channel page. so let's get started. First style we're going to create is this popular graph thumbnail. Let's head over to Photoshop and create a 1920 by 1080 document. I like to unlock my background by simply hitting this icon or just double-click the layer and then hit OK. We'll start with the graph, so let's hit this icon and add a gradient. Now let's click here and select our colors. We'll use black for this side and select something lighter for the other side. If you find that the color doesn't change, simply click here and increase the opacity. Now everything looks great, so we can go ahead and hit OK here. Our graph will be increasing, so let's tilt the angle slightly. Feel free to play around with this, but 100 seems to get the job done for me. We'll also hit dither and then finally OK. Next, we'll pick this pen tool and draw our preferred graph. Make sure the graph goes all the way to the end and then goes around the bottom here to the beginning. Once we're done, we can go down here and add a solid color. Feel free to choose your preferred color for the graph. Now we're going to choose the Path Selection tool, add a stroke, and set the stroke width to something like 30. Let's also go to the stroke options and choose rounded corners and caps. Now we need to duplicate our layer. For that, we can select the layer and use the shortcut Ctrl-J for Windows or Command-J for Mac. Alternatively, you can drag the layer while holding down the Option key on Mac or the Alt key on Windows to create a new copy of the layer. Now for the top layer, make sure the Path Selection tool is still selected and then remove the fill by selecting this. We'll do the same with the bottom layer, except the stroke will be removed instead. Let's also change the stroke color for our top layer. Something lighter should help differentiate both layers. Our line looks too big, so let's decrease the size to 12. Feel free to use whichever size you prefer. It looks good now, so let's right-click our top layer and then select Blending Options. Now we can add a drop shadow and change the color to something darker. We also need to add an outer glow, so let's choose our color and play around with these settings. Our drop shadow color doesn't fit very well, so let's change the color before we save these options. In case you want to modify the graph points, make sure the Direct Selection tool is selected and then click and drag the points you want to change. Keep in mind that you'll need to do the same for both layers. You can also change the colors by changing the fill color for the second layer and the stroke color for the top layer. The drop shadow and outer glow will also need to be changed to match our color. So we need to right-click our top layer, select Blending Options, and then modify the settings. Our graph looks good now, so let's go ahead and bring in our avatar. If you don't already have an avatar with a transparent background, we can do that with Photoshop. Simply drop the image inside our project and double-click it. Now let's unlock our layer here and use the Magic Wand tool and Quick Selection tools to remove the background. Another way to remove the background is to rasterize our layer and then use the same Magic Wand tool and Quick Selection tools to remove the background. This works perfectly, but I prefer something simpler with AI. So let's drop our avatar inside Adobe Background Remover and wait for it to do its magic. As you can see, it's done a pretty good job removing our background. We can download and import it into Photoshop. Our image looks good, but let's add a bit of brightness to our avatar. We'll go to Adjustments and add a curve. Our avatar looks brighter, but so does our graph, which isn't ideal. To fix this, we can put the cursor between the curve layer and our avatar. While holding the Option key on a Mac or Alt key on Windows, click between these two layers to create a clipping mask. As you can see, our avatar is the only thing that's still bright now. Another way of doing this is to simply right-click the curve layer and then select Create Clipping Mask. Feel free to play around with the curves till you get your desired look. We need to create the rectangles at the top, so let's create them by selecting the Rectangle tool and then drawing our preferred rectangle. Let's also duplicate the rectangle layer and reshape them to fit our reference image. We need to change the color for this one, so let's select the layer. Go to Appearance and then choose our fill color. There's a white line in the middle here, so let's add a line and resize it. We need to add a text, so let's choose our Type tool and change the color to white. Now we can proceed with our text and also select our preferred font. Let's also duplicate this, change the text, color, and resize it. We need to add a green circle, so let's choose our color here and then select the Ellipse tool. Now we can draw our circle by holding the Shift key. This looks good, but we're missing the arrow sign. For that, we'll go to Flaticon and search for our icon. The best part about these icons is that we can change the color right here. So let's change this one to white, download and import it into our project. We'll resize and position it inside our circle. Finally, we can add a drop shadow to the arrow to make it better stand out. We need to duplicate these layers, but first, let's add an eye icon to our views text. We'll grab one from Flaticon and position it. Now we can go ahead and duplicate our text layers, move them to the right side, and modify them appropriately. We'll grab a clock from Flaticon as well and position it here. Finally, we'll bring in our green circle and arrow sign. The last step here is to add a line here, so we'll draw one and change the blending mode to soft light. Feel free to test these out and pick your preference, but once you're happy with it, you can duplicate the layer and move it upwards. The line looks too prominent here, so we can reduce the opacity and also do the same for the other one. This doesn't look bad, so we can go ahead and export our image as a JPEG. Next is this style of thumbnail inspired by Bible in a nutshell. The first step to creating this thumbnail is to create the respective images. We'll go to ChatGPT and give it a command to generate a prompt for us. Key points to highlight in this prompt is the characteristics of the character. We also want a Pixar animation style image, a close-up shot, and a side view of the character. The character's background isn't needed, so let's use a white one. Feel free to generate your images here if you have a GPT Plus subscription, but free users can use a tool like Ideogram or Leonardo AI. We'll use this same process to generate prompts for all other images in this thumbnail. These images look great, so we can go ahead and remove the white background from our characters. We'll drop our image inside Adobe Background Remover and wait for it to do its magic. Our image without the background is ready, so let's create a new project inside Photoshop. The first thing we'll do here is to import our background. Now we can bring in our first character and change the orientation so that he faces this direction. Let's also expand and rotate it slightly. Now we'll bring in our second image and expand it slightly. There's a bit of an issue here with the staff, so let's rasterize the layer, choose the magic tool, and then select this area. Now we can go ahead and hit delete on the keyboard. We want to add a bit of glow to our characters, so let's right-click the layer and choose blending options. Now we can add an outer glow and choose our preferred color. Let's repeat the same thing with our other character as well, and finally bring in our avatar. We'll scale it up slightly and position it, making sure the laptop is hidden. The background should be slightly blurry, so let's select the layer, go to Filter, Blur, and then Gaussian Blur. We don't want it to be too blurry, so this looks all right. Let's brighten our avatar a bit by adding a curve and also make sure the curve only affects the avatar by creating a clipping mask. Finally, we'll add a drop shadow and change the color to white. Feel free to make any changes here, but we can go ahead and export our image as a JPEG. I'm sure you've seen this thumbnail style all over YouTube, so let's try recreating them. First thing we need is a background image. We'll head over to Ideogram AI and create something simple. Now, we can create our new document and import the image. Next, let's bring in our avatar and any other images. For this demonstration, we'll be using the images we generated for the previous thumbnail. Let's scale down our images, move them to the left side of our avatar, and also add a bit of rotation. Now, we need to add a bit of glow to the images, so let's right-click the layer, select blending options, and either add an outer glow or a stroke. Feel free to choose based on the look you're going for, but for this demonstration, we'll be using an outer glow with this color. We also need to repeat this with our second layer and also scale down our images a bit more. Now let's grab the rectangle tool. Make sure fill is empty and then add a stroke. Next, we can draw our rectangle and use the properties panel to decrease the size of our stroke like this and add some rounded corners. I'll be locking the background and avatar to avoid moving them when making a selection. Our rectangle needs to be positioned here and tilted slightly. Keep in mind that this is all based on your personal preference, so feel free to make any changes you desire. Now, we can go ahead and add our text using the Type tool, and also scale and reposition it appropriately. We need to add views, so let's duplicate our text layer by using the shortcut Ctrl-J for Windows or Command-J for Mac, and also position it. We also need to add this green circle, so let's select the Ellipse tool, make sure the stroke is off, and then select the fill color we want. Now, we'll draw our circle while holding down the Shift key. For the arrow, we'll head over to Flaticon, grab one and drop it inside our project. We could have changed the color of the arrow directly inside Flaticon, but we're going to try doing that inside Photoshop. We simply need to go to Blending Options, select Color Overlay, and finally change the color to white. Simple as that. Now let's rotate it and position it inside our green circle. I'm also going to add a dark rectangle on top of our background image, and then reduce the opacity slightly. The next step is to add the arrow at the top, so let's import one, change the color to white, and reposition it where we want it. We want it behind our avatar, so let's move the layer behind these images. This looks good, but we want to add a bit of glow, so let's go to Blending Options and add an outer glow. Feel free to choose your preferred color to go with the theme of your thumbnail. This looks good, so let's add our text here, resize it appropriately, and go to Blending Options. Our background seems a bit distracting behind our text, so let's add a drop shadow. Choose black and play around with the size. This looks better, but we're going to add a slight outer glow to our text. Feel free to make it brighter depending on your personal preference. In case you want to curve the text, you simply need to double-click it. Choose this icon and then select Arc. Now you can use this slider to choose how much you want your text to bend. Our image looks good, but we can brighten up our avatar a bit by adding a curve. This looks good, so we can create a clipping mask. We can go ahead and export this, but I'm going to bring in a YouTube icon, resize it, and then play around a bit with the blending options. This looks alright, so we can go ahead and export it as a JPEG. The last thumbnail we're going to create is this money style. So let's create our new document and import our preferred background. Feel free to use whichever background you like, but we'll be using the same background from our last thumbnail. To make everything easier to follow, I'm going to hide our new background. Now we can go ahead and import our avatar. Next, we'll import our pile of money, resize it, and add a hue saturation from the Adjustment tab. We want our money to be green, so we'll select that here, increase the saturation, and finally decrease the lightness. Let's make sure our hue saturation only affects the money by creating a clipping mask. You can choose it from the right-click menu or click between these two layers, while holding the Option key on a Mac or Alt key on Windows. We need to duplicate this, so let's create a group by clicking this and then double-click to rename it. To create the duplicate, we simply need to hold the Option key on Mac or the Alt key on Windows, then drag the folder above or below to create a copy. Let's try this a few more times and also lock the first three in place. Now we can move this one behind our avatar, rotate and scale it slightly, make another copy, move it to the other side, and rotate it as well. Now, let's turn on our background image and check out the results so far. This looks good, but let's blur our background slightly by going to Filter, Blur, and finally Gaussian Blur. We can choose how blurry we want the image to be, but this looks alright. Now, let's lock the background in place to avoid moving it. We need to add some shadows to make our character look like he's really inside this pile. So let's go down here and add a hue saturation. We need to apply it only to our image, so let's create a clipping mask, go to Properties, and decrease the lightness. Now make sure this mask is selected, and then hit the Command +I on the keyboard for Mac or Control, +I on Windows to invert it. Now take the brush tool, select Soft Round from here, and make sure the opacity is set to 100% and flow is set to something like this. Then set the color to white and start painting here. This creates some kind of shadow effect. We'll repeat this process for the pile of money behind our avatar. As you can see, this looks considerably better. We can also brighten our avatar a bit by adding a curve. Let's also add a bit of outer glow by right-clicking our avatar. Then we'll select Blending Options and finally Outer Glow. Feel free to choose your preferred color. Play around with the size, opacity, and spread. This looks alright, so go ahead and click OK. Now, we need to add our text, so let's select the Type tool and draw our text box. Let's type in our text, scale it slightly, and move it behind our avatar. Feel free to choose your preferred text color from here, but we'll keep the white color for this demonstration. We can also add a bit of outer glow and drop shadow to our text. In case you decide to change your colors, simply select the mask and then choose your preferred colors. You'll need to repeat this for every one of these. This looks alright, so let's add our dollar text and scale it. We'll also import our YouTube logo, scale it, add an outer glow, and drop shadow. Let's also change the color for our text and play around with these blending options. Feel free to use your preferred settings here. The last step here is to add the curved dashed lines between the logo and $sign. For that, we'll create this shape with the ellipse tool. Now we'll remove the fill and add a stroke with our preferred color. Let's also choose 4 for the stroke size and change it into dashed lines. We also need to round the edges, so we'll select these. Feel free to use the settings here to fine-tune the gaps and the length. Next, we can choose the lasso tool, draw a shape around the parts we want to keep, and finally hit this mask icon. Let's move this behind our character and change the color. We can use the gradient and angle to make the beginning of our line slightly red and the ending white. Finally, let's change the $sign to white and then export our thumbnail. This looks great, but you can grab inspiration for other thumbnails, editing, and even script writing from these awesome channels. Chapter 14: How to Create Explainer Videos. Alright, so imagine this. A 1-year-old channel that's already making more than $15,000 each month from ads alone. And what's even more impressive is that these are some of the easiest videos you can ever make. It doesn't require you to show your face or any fancy editing and can be done with completely free tools. Think this sounds too good to be true? Check out this channel with a logo that looks like it was drawn by my 5-year-old niece, but somehow has over 500,000 subscribers from just a handful of videos. And what's even more interesting is that none of their videos, except the most recent ones, has anything less than 200,000 views. All this channel is doing is just creating simple explainer videos on any interesting or trending topics. Oh, and when I say simple, I mean this kind of simple. No out-of-this-world level animations and effects that the rest of us are constantly trying to achieve. But somehow, they're getting comments like these.
No sponsors, no intros, just straight to the point, simple and quick. If only more videos were like this.
This is the best channel I've ever found. Thanks, algorithm god.
And if you doubt that a channel like this can be monetized, think again. The only thing you need in this niche is an interesting video idea, an AI voiceover generator, and some very basic Canva or CapCut editing skills. Yes, it's that simple. And I'm going to make it even simpler by showing you the exact steps you need to create your own explainer channel. We'll do everything from scripting to editing our first explainer video together. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to succeed in this space. We'll first take a look at how we can create this style of video using Canva. And for those who want to level it up with some effects and animations, we'll create one in CapCut as well. As a bonus, I'll even show you how to get access to the icons they used in the video we'll be modeling. Keep in mind that you can find the resources for this and all of my videos in the resource category on my Discord server. The link will be in the description or on the channel page. I only ask that you stick with me till the end, and also hit the like and subscribe buttons if you find the video helpful. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is to create our script. For that, I'll show you two methods using ChatGPT. We'll head over to ChatGPT and ask it to generate some political ideologies. Now, we need a brief description for each of these ideologies, so let's go ahead and generate that as well. This looks good, and we can definitely use it for our video. Now, let's take a look at the second method. This isn't recommended, but for this demonstration, we're going to grab the transcript from this video. Let's first install the YouTube summary with ChatGPT and Claude Google Chrome extension, and then go back to our selected video. Now, we just need to hit this button, and the extension will grab the full transcript from the video. Now, let's copy the transcript and ask ChatGPT to paraphrase it. I recommend just using this transcript as inspiration or for some pointers instead of simply paraphrasing another video. We need it in a narration form so we can give that command as well. The next step is to create our voiceover. So let's copy part of our script and paste it into the text-to-speech. Keep in mind that longer script generations can sound weird, so I typically do a maximum of 500 characters per generation. We can select one of these voices, but I prefer something from the voice library. Ordinarily, we could test out a few voices from here, but I already have a cheat book here, so I'll quickly choose a voice character and add it on 11 Labs. Let's go ahead and generate our voiceover. Now that we have our voiceover, we can begin the video editing. To show how easy it is to make these videos, we're first going to create it using Canva and then follow up with CapCut. So let's go to Canva and create a blank 1920 by 1080 video. The first thing we're going to do here is add our voiceover. Canva has a wide array of stock graphics, so we don't need to leave the app for a majority of our images. Since the icons from the video we're modeling look good, let's go to the same website and grab them. We'll select the ideologies category and use the browser search to easily find conservatism, which is our first ideology. Let's open the first one in a new tab and see. This image looks good, so let's go ahead and download it. Next, we'll search for socialism and open this one. The image looks good, but we'll have to remove the background. Make sure that you credit this website if you decide to use their images. One of our images has a background, so let's remove it. Canvas Pro users can easily remove background from images, but free users like myself will need to use PixelCut Background Remover. Simply drop the image and wait for the software to do its magic. As you can see, PixelCut has done a great job with this image. Now let's go back to Canva and import our images. We'll arrange them based on our narration and add our text. We need to change the font, so let's choose Comic Sans. Duplicate the text a few times, and modify them appropriately. Let's change the duration of our first page so it aligns perfectly with the narration. This looks good, so let's copy its contents to a new page and make sure the duration of the new page also aligns with our narration. We need to add a transition between these two pages, so let's select this one and check out our result. This transition won't be visible at this point since we haven't done anything different on our second page. What we're going to do now is to group everything on this page and then scale it till only these two ideologies are left on the screen. Let's also group the contents on our first page as well. Next, we will create a new page, add the image for our first ideology, and then the title. The best thing about Canva is that we get access to a bunch of graphics even for free users. Let's add this oval shape, scale it, and change the color to red. We also need to add a line, so let's grab one and change both the weight and color. Now let's duplicate the page and remove these shapes from the previous page. We'll make sure the duration animation aligns with our narration and duplicate the page a second time. The only thing we're going to do on this slide is to add this word and modify the page duration. Now we simply need to duplicate our page again, delete these, and find some cool graphics that align with our narration. The rest of our video on Canva will follow this same process, so let's go ahead and recreate this inside CapCut. The first thing we're going to do is to import our voiceover and the images we'll be using for our ideologies. We'll drop the voiceover into our timeline and change the aspect ratio of our project to 16:9. Next, let's grab a white background from the stock materials and add it to our timeline. Now, I'll quickly arrange our images for the first scene. The background makes it difficult to scale some of our elements, so let's replace it with a green one for now. Much better. We'll add our text and choose Comic Sans font here. Now we can scale and duplicate the text for our other ideologies. Our images and text need to align with our voiceover, so let's select them all and decrease their duration. We'll need to also create a compound clip. Now it's time to scale our image at the beginning, so let's add a keyframe, move forward a bit, and then scale the clip till only 2 of our ideologies remain. This video doesn't need anything complicated, so we won't be adding any fancy animations and effects. Just as we did in Canva, we'll add our image here and include the title. For the shapes, we can grab them from the available stickers, but these are already animated. So what we can do is to go to these 2 websites, Vecteezy and Flaticon. For simple shapes like a line or a circle, I personally prefer Flaticon. It's simple and you can change the colors directly before downloading. We can also do this with Vecteezy, but that would require using a third tool like Photoshop or Photopea. For those who don't know about Photopea, it's a free online Photoshop alternative with similar features and interface. Let's drop our image and simply add an overlay with our preferred color. Simple as that. All that's left is to export the image as a PNG file. Now let's import our new images into CapCut and arrange them appropriately. For our other images, we'll go back to Vecteezy and download what we need. Always make sure that you've selected PNG format to make things easier. All that's left is to go back to CapCut and add any new images to the story. Repeat this process according to the flow of our story till our video is ready for export. We'll select 2K or 4K resolution, and this is our final result.
Conservatism. In the world of conservatism, the past is treasured, and traditional values are the cornerstone of society. Here, the nuclear family is upheld as the ideal, organized religion is revered, the military is respected, and property rights are fiercely protected.
This niche isn't saturated, and as you can see, you don't need to be an experienced editor to create these videos. The tools and techniques we've covered are accessible to everyone, making it easy for you to start creating content right away. However, remember that adding your own unique touch can help you stand out from the competition, whether it's through your style, humor, or a fresh perspective. Anyway, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to this channel and don't forget to check out some of my other videos like this one where I talk about some pretty cool viral niches, or this other video where I list some of the top AI tools every content creator should know about. Thank you and see you in the next one.